recently, Daniel Rickman, who's broken a lot of news, decided he was going to come out and drop another bombshell. So I'm going to read that for everybody right here. So in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda will fight someone from the Foxverse. I'm not allowed to reveal who it is, but it could top this fight, referring to uh, referring to Thanos versus Doctor Strange. It was a post on Twitter, and I think that a big reason why he's putting this one is we've talked about it before. The Foxverse is absolute, like, people have kind of assumed there's always been rumors that the Foxverse will be in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now it's kind of pretty much confirmed. I think that, putting somebody in there, of course, I threw in there Patrick Stewart, Magneto, and Wolverine. Those are the three kind of that everybody's kind of talking about. My big take on this is just thinking, all right, well, if Magneto or Doctor Strange, Magneto, and what is it, Patrick Stewart's Professor X, uh, if they're going to be in this movie, right? If the X-Men are going to be introduced in this movie, I'm truly wondering, all right, if they're going to, depending on who they get to play Professor X, there have been some casting calls saying that there's a character named like Joe that they're trying to cast for, who's a bald man. There's a lot of reshoots. I would definitely think that if they were going to introduce an X-Men character, I would love for it to be Magneto versus Wanda. I think even if they're not going to do like the oh, Magneto is her father type thing, if it's going to be a multiverse thing, I truly think, plus we already kind of know in WandaVision they kind of explored that they had different parents, whether or not that there's a little bit more behind that than meets the eye. I truly would love to see Professor X versus Wanda, just because while Professor X doesn't have like powers that are going to like match her magic or anything, a lot of rumors that we've heard is that Professor X might actually fight her in her mind to get her to let go of her children and to let go of this whole mission. And that's just straight up Professor X for me. Justice, when you see the fact that there might be a at play of having, either Magneto or Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy as Professor X, or whoever they cast as the new Professor X, what do you think about them fighting Wanda in this being on par with the Thanos versus Doctor Strange fight in terms of just how cool looking it was?
Well, first of all, I want to say that absolutely love James McAvoy as an actor. That man is incredible. I would love to see him in the MCU as Professor X. That would be probably my best case scenario personally. However, I don't know. I feel like whoever this fight is against, Wanda's going to win just so they can show us the power that she possesses. Which is what's going to make it more difficult for Doctor Strange to stop her in the end, because I do think it is going to be Doctor Strange that stops her in the end, or makes her realize whatever it is, whatever helps her save her kids, because Wiccan and they're obviously a part of the MCU probably going forward, I would imagine. So I don't really see it being Professor X. I could see it potentially being Magneto. That would be cool. I wrote down Storm because and Jean Grey. Like, I'm just thinking of people whose power might be on par with Wanda to the point where they would give her a good fight. And Storm and Jean Grey are like the only two X-Men I can think of. I don't really see that being Wolverine's origin into the MCU, but I do have one that I'm really excited about that I think it very could possibly be. I think she might possibly fight Silver Surfer. Okay. Uh,
All
we,
right,
we
you got to
know that
explain.
we know that Galactus and everything else is coming, right? And I feel like Silver Surfer is somebody who's extremely powerful. They have the comics behind them as far as how authentic they are and what they've done, because he's a formidable opponent. Like Silver Surfer is the guy, right? So I think that if it was going to be somebody who's extremely powerful, and I'm thinking in my head, Wanda's probably going to win this fight, and just the visuals that would come with a Silver Surfer versus Wanda fight, because of the visuals that came with the Doctor Strange and Thanos fight was spectacular. It was amazing. So for Professor X, I don't really see what those visuals would be like. It would kind of probably just be like a mind fuck. Magneto would be like throwing metal everywhere or whatever, but I don't know how great that would look on screen versus magic. But Silver Surfer, I feel like, has abilities that would be able to look really, really cool on screen in a fight versus Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah, dude, I think that you're like 100% right on that. I think one, I feel like it's a little ambitious to say Silver Surfer just because, we're just trying to get the Foxverse a little bit in. Once you start reaching in and pulling out characters like Silver Surfer, which then connects to Galactus, which is something they haven't even tried to scratch. They're just now talking about
There was
Celestials
a
and
go.
stuff.
Well, there was a the guy with the three faces, the Living Tribunal. There
Yeah.
was a Living Tribunal Easter egg in Loki,
Mm.
in the end of time or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've kind of opened the door to it a little bit, and plus, the weapon of the Living Tribunal, I can't remember what it was, but they had Mordo had in the first Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
So we know that these people exist. I think that, because just like in the Fantastic Four movie, Silver Surfer kind of came, in place of the giant cloud Galactus for whatever reason.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
But we know that Silver Surfer typically makes himself available or appear
Yeah.
before we see Galactus, right? So I do think that could possibly be like, you remember like in the Avengers movie where you see Thanos, he's fine, I'll do it myself or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think this could be like that thing where you're like, oh my God, Galactus is coming, right?
Oh my God. See, so we kind of know that the only reason why I think that it's not happening is not because it wouldn't be cool. It would be cool as shit. But the only thing is, we know that the villain of this phase is going to be Kang the Conqueror. And I feel like Galactus is one of those characters that you got to go, yo, this dude, you build up to a Galactus. Like, you build up to Thanos. You know what's even worse than Thanos? Fucking Galactus. So if you're going to build up to it, like, I think that Galactus, like, doesn't need to be thrown into something like that, which Silver Surfer is attached to him. So if Silver Surfer is thrown into the movie, then that would just make everything go out of whack. I think that the one thing that you said that could make really cool visuals is thinking Jean Grey as the Dark Phoenix. I know a lot of people, every single time they try to do Dark Phoenix, they've messed up. That last Fox X-Men Dark Phoenix movie is absolutely awful. Like, it is probably, like, X3 was, it was okay as a movie. It wasn't the best of those original X-Men movies. But then they tried to redo that story again, and it was even worse. But the character of the Dark Phoenix and Jean Grey against Wanda's magic would be absolutely ridiculous. It would look awesome on screen. And even though you said it with Professor X, the mindfuck thing, if you remember just how well they did it, think about Spider-Man Far From Home when Mysterio was messing with Spider-Man and like all of that stuff. Could you imagine Professor X kind of trying to stop Wanda in her oh my God, it would look awesome, dude.
Yeah,
like that would be
absolutely.
absolutely awesome. So 100%, there's a ton of opportunities for them to throw in any Foxverse character. We don't know who it is. Hell, it could be Deadpool. Who even knows?
Real quick, I want to say, excuse me. The reason I say it could possibly be Silver Surfer, right? Because I just, my mind doesn't stop going, right?
Yeah.
It just thinks about one thing after another, right? So I think that they're going to have two different big bads, right? You're going to have like your Earth big bad, which I do think that on like a smaller scale in terms of this particular universe, uh, I guess which is now like the Earth. It was the Earth scale before. Then you have like the Guardians of the Galaxy going out in space and stuff, right? Now I think that the small scale is this universe, which is going to be the King the Conqueror is going to be the main villain there. But I think on larger scale, it's going to be like infinity, like the multiverse, right? And we're being introduced to people like celestials and eternals and stuff like that. And I don't really think that Kang is gonna be like their superior. You know what I mean? I think that a celestial is probably going to trump Kang in terms of, they don't really care about time or space, quite frankly, because they don't live by those rules. So I think for them to come, because we see the celestials, we already know the celestials are here. They're going to be in Eternals, right?
Mhm.
So when you have it on that large of a scale, I think in order for you to recognize who might be the big bad of that scale, I think it could possibly be Galactus.
Yeah, I could see where you're going, especially you said that they're introducing Celestials and Eternals. I mean, hell, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 Ego is a Celestial. So, like they've been in the universe. I could see what you're saying, just thinking about our universe kind of being the small scale now. Um, but again, I just think that the only way that they can do justice to the character of Galactus is to make him as big of a problem as he actually is. Like every single time that Galactus shows up, usually during huge conflicts, it's usually like, holy shit, we gotta get Galactus. Like, we gotta stop Galactus because he's just the eater of worlds. He's going to devour your planet. It's over at that point. And I would like for them to kind of save Galactus with kind of the Fantastic Four stuff they want to do in the future, because a lot of that has to explore space. And just like kind of like those old movies in the early 2000s, I really would like to see Silver Surfer kind of introduced. I kind of like having these like Guardians of the Galaxy or like the Fantastic Four stuff that has to deal with, extraterrestrial stuff, kind of bringing in all that stuff into it. While we have movies like Shang-Chi and Black Widow and all that stuff kind of dealing with the down-to-earth stuff, like I would have loved the Mandarin to be like the small-scale villain of this phase. And then it starts in Shang-Chi and they have some down-to-earth things, and then the Mandarin gets beat, but at the same time, which I'm sure the Mandarin, we haven't seen Shang-Chi yet. That comes out this week. I'm sure we'll probably do a little pod. I don't know when you're going to see it, but I see it Friday night. So,
Yeah, I'm going to see it Friday.
If you go and see it Friday, then we're going to have to do a little special stream just talking about how we feel about the movie in general. But no, I truly think that whatever shows up in Doctor Strange to fight Wanda, it is going to be absolutely awesome. And the big thing is, what does everybody else think about this? Make sure to let us know down below for anybody who's not catching this live and you're catching this on the replay or clipped up and put out on the YouTube channel.